Oh, and by the way, Boehner Bronco Buster?
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
Improv.
That was wonderful.
After defeating Shingo Takagi, Pac, and Hangman Adam Page, Bryan Danielson has won the Owen Hart Cup and secured himself a shot at the AEW World Championship.
I fucking love it!
Another shot at AEW's top title has seemed out of the question for Danielson over the last 2 years or so, with Danielson making it clear multiple times that he has no interest in being in the main event scene of AEW. But now, we are finally getting what we have all wanted, and we'll see Bryan Danielson try to take the AEW World title off of Swerve Strickland. Bryan Danielson is, in my eyes, a top 5 greatest professional wrestler of all time. I just really think he is a perfect wrestler. From any point you want to look at, in the ring, there's no doubt how good he is. I mean, come on, you don't need me to tell you that. But also from a character perspective, he can literally do anything, and he is undoubtedly the greatest underdog of all time. We are now in the middle of Danielson's last year as a full-time wrestler, and with a title shot coming up at All In London, I find myself conflicted on whether or not he should actually win the AEW World Championship. I'm conflicted because for so long I was certain I wanted to see Danielson win the title, but now I'm not so sure. Swerve Strickland is in the middle of a great title reign, and if he lost the title tomorrow, I think it would feel like a pretty good reign. Nowhere near the level of Mox or Omega, but still a pretty good reign. I was honestly shocked to see that Swerve hasn't even held the title 100 days, because he's already had so many great moments. A fun feud against Christian, bangers on weekly TV, and a match of the year contender against Will Ospreay. Yes, he's had a good reign, and yes, it could end tomorrow and feel satisfactory, but that's just the thing. Do we want to end a good, potentially great thing so soon? I just feel like people, myself included, have had All In penciled in as the place where Swerve is going to lose his title, and that feels a little wrong to me. Before Swerve even had a chance to show the world that he could be a top guy, which he did by the way, people already had an expiration date on his title reign. And yes, I know people thought it was going to be Will Ospreay, not Danielson, but the point is still the same. Swerve has proven that he is that guy, and I think he deserves to hold the title until someone worthy, with a worthy story, comes and takes it. That is my biggest concern. Don't get me wrong, I would be perfectly okay with Bryan Danielson beating Swerve, but the story needs to not only be right, it needs to be perfect, because Swerve deserves that, Danielson deserves that, and we the fans deserve that. As of right now, Swerve has sort of been a tweener, He's going to be leading Team AEW against Elite, and he even had that little heartfelt moment with Will Ospreay after their match. I think this is bullshit. And it's not all his fault or AEW's fault. Swerve is genuinely super popular. I like Swerve. You like Swerve. We all like Swerve. But we need this dude to become a real fucking villain. We are in a rare place where AEW is going to have more than enough time to tell a story. But my concern is that Swerve is going to get stuck doing, shit with the Elite, and we'll probably end up seeing Danielson come to help Swerve. It's the same thing we've seen in AEW a million times. Don't get me wrong, I like the Elite, but I'm not really seeing where they factor in to what should be AEW's top priority in Swerve versus Danielson. And if I had my way, the second Blood and Guts is over, I'd have Swerve try to kill Danielson. Like I said, it's a tough call, and I genuinely couldn't tell you what I think AEW is going to do. Bryan Danielson winning the AEW World Championship would immediately become one of the greatest moments in AEW history. It would be right up there with Hangman beating Omega, Sting's retirement, and CM Punk's debut. Say what you want about CM Punk and how his run in AEW ended, but there is no denying that his debut is still one of the company's greatest moments, and I think Danielson winning the AEW title would be right up there. On the other hand, Swerve beating Danielson, and preferably doing it in a brutal, villainous way, would cement Swerve as the best bad guy, not only in AEW, but in all of wrestling. I don't think Tony Khan and AEW are stupid. I know a lot was made of the news story that Will Ospreay petitioned for Swerve to beat him at Forbidden Door, But people need to realize that Will Ospreay doesn't have final say and stuff like that. And if Tony Khan wanted Ospreay to be the AEW champ right now, he'd be the champ. But he's not. And he's not because I think AEW has greater plans for the title than just putting it on Ospreay. Like I said a million times already in this video, this is why I'm conflicted. Anyways, I'm excited to see how this plays out. You know, like I said earlier, AEW has a ton of time to build this match since All In isn't happening until the end of August. So there's really no reason at all that this shouldn't be one of the best stories AEW has ever told.
Hey, shake, up in the, hey, down, hey, do,